And I remember that we had big raccoons in there at the time as well.
Yep, there were big
Yeah.
raccoons.
Yeah.
Actually, they make a nice sauce. Did you know that?
John, have you touched base with the university with this new building that they're building?
Actually, we haven't, but we have a very strong relationship with Northern Essex Community College. Something that was said earlier about colleges talking to local industry to find out what the needs are. We've spent a fair amount of time talking to Northern Essex about what we need for medical support staff, nursing staff, and medical assistants. Because today, with electronic medical records, you've got to have many more skills than being able just to take vital signs and put a patient in an exam room. Now it requires some real knowledge of computers. And so we've spoken to them about that, and they've actually adjusted their programs to reflect the needs of a group like ours for highly trained clinical staff.
Yes. Well, the community college here in Lowell, as well as the university, have excellent facilities and excellent training for nurses, LPNs, and all the support staff, and they have a pre-med program as well.
They also have a physician assistant, nurse practitioner program. A nurse practitioner program. Graduates of whom work for Pentucket Medical. Now, we have great resources in the Merrimack Valley, educational resources that are very willing to adapt to changes in healthcare, and there are many, many changes in healthcare that where we need a different kind of support.
Now, have you touched base with the area hospitals as well, like Lowell General and?
Well, Lowell General is a little bit out of our service area,
yeah.
But of course we work with Merrimack Valley Hospital in Haverhill, and we also work with Lawrence General. And for our Newburyport practice, of course, Anna Jakes up in Newburyport. All great facilities. Again, the Valley is blessed with superb medical facilities.
What is happening with this new cancer center that is supposed to be on the records? Have you heard anything about it?
No, actually, I have
in
not.
New Hampshire?
I've not heard that.
Apparently.
Oh, you mean from Derry?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
From
I'm just
Derry.
spreading you out a little further.
Yeah, right. You're spreading me out here pretty thin.
Yeah, but you can handle it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you sure
you're
can.
the bull.
everybody-
Hey, exactly.
You're the old
The
bull.
old bull. Come on.
Hey. Be nice.
Well, we are.
Hey,
Just trying to
not to
expand
change the subject, but guys, we are in the midst of Boston Red Sox spring training.
Oh, forget it.
What do you mean, forget it? What do you mean, forget it? Now, let me say, I'm hearing all kinds of good reports about Bobby Valentine doing really working.
He smiles too much.
What do you mean, smiles too much?
Who are you hearing from? Mike Lynch, please.
Well, I'm all the reports I do read, and I have
George.
seen,
He reads.
I do occasionally the sports section. No, but I'm hearing that they're doing a lot of working with the pitchers, and they're going on drills. He's really working their butts off. I don't know if I recently saw the movie Moneyball. Have you seen that movie yet?
Yes.
I
did
wasn't
see
that
it.
a good movie
Yeah,
about
excellent
Billy
movie.
Bean and the Oakland A's? And the premise of it, Mikey, have you seen that one yet? Have you seen Moneyball? I think that was probably one of the best movies
have
I've
not.
seen. You got to see it.
But I really want to go see, what's his name, Jonah Hill, while he's still fat.
Right, exactly.
He dropped all the weight after
It's
that
amazing.
role.
It's like two different actors. It's incredible. But the premise of Moneyball was that Billy Bean decided to take on this young accountant, guy majored in finance. He was working for the I think it was the Cleveland Indians. He brought him on board, and they did all the statistical analysis.
Yeah, I haven't
on,
seen it,
on,
but
on different. Yeah,
to
it
me,
was
to
great.
Me, it
Well,
almost
don't blow the movie for us.
it almost looks like they're treating real baseball like it was fantasy baseball.
Right, exactly, and it was really an amazing process, and Billy Bean just really changed the face of baseball. So I'm cautiously optimistic about the Boston Red Sox
George,
season.
do you know what that has to do with the Red Sox?
It
Do you
does,
have any
because
idea?
they incorporated that. They incorporated that
Absolutely
same
nothing.
system.
Thank you, George.
Up in Methuen, they have a wrestling coach that's doing a fantastic job with their wrestling team. I think they just won the states again.
Are they
Whoa,
using statistical
beautiful.
analysis to do anything with that? With that?
Well, I kind of baseball is not my cup of tea.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'd rather have the Celtics, Patriots.
But you coached baseball.
Yes.
You coach baseball. I think we need to probably hear from some of your former athletes.
I hope they do
I encourage
call
them
in.
to call in at 978-454-4980, and we
There
can
was
get to the
Calorie
bottom of the
Park.
nickname the Bear. Calorie Park.
Calorie
I
Park.
coached at Calorie as well.
Yeah, but I was a little bit before you.
Yeah, and we did you ever win a championship?
We won the park championship, and then when we merged with Calorie, with Highland,
Yeah.
I coached the first 13-year-old all-star team, and we merged the two clubs together, the two parks together, and naturally it was a great experience, and we played up in Chelmsford, but we lost.
Oh, well.
Well, I was in special chorus in high school.
Were you really?
Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. You didn't play any baseball?
I'm not exactly a natural athlete.
No, neither am I.
JMac.
So tell us about chorus. Yeah, you had quite a singing voice. John and I drove down together today, down to the station from Riverwalk Properties, and John has quite a singing voice. I have to say.
Thank you, John. You didn't say that while we were driving.
No,
down.
I didn't want to. Well, I probably should have left it till after the trip when we get back, but. Anyway, but so we've got some interesting things in the news happening here in Lowell. We've got some interesting things that happening downtown. It seems like that whole situation with the nightclubs seems to be straightening itself out, and things are looking on the upswing. And I think the Lowell Police Department is due some credit at this point in time, anyway, for jumping on quickly on the issue.
And it's funny, John. You mentioned the problems in downtown Lowell. I think it was just today we had in our local news that they just rolled back the closing times for the nightclubs in Lawrence back to 2 a.m. They had rolled them back to 1. So it's funny how these things flare up in one place and then they die down, and then you got to address them. It's one of those things that is certainly not specific to any one community, I don't think.
Maybe it was a city-to-city strategic partnership.
I think the fact that Lawrence was closing at 1 could have had something to do with all those late night problems in Lowell.
It could have been. Could have been. So when all of a sudden we'll see what happens if now that Lowell calms down and Lawrence, maybe they spark up, maybe they'll transfer over to Haverhill and we can get a trifecta.
Did you hear what happened up in Haverhill? They had the ABC inspections just last week, and I think 5 or 6 establishments got nabbed for selling to underage people. One of them, a gas station, that this was their 7th time in seven inspections that they've failed, so they're all done. But
yeah, well, they should have been done 6 times ago.
Yeah,
right?
A couple restaurants and a couple other licensed establishments in Haverhill getting snagged by the ABC. So it's certainly not problems that are specific to any one individual community.
No, I don't think so. I love this city. I love the downtown. I'm not one of the people that are out at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's for sure. But I think just that we've worked so hard to have such a thriving community, and these things flare up occasionally. And I think that we have a tendency to over-dramatize the situation on occasion. And in this instance, I'm of the belief that, you don't punish the entire restaurant community, the entire barroom community. You punish the bar that broke the law.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the best way to handle it. It doesn't seem like
the best way to address any problem is to directly address what is the problem, as opposed to trying to do some sort of a blanket solution to avoid any future problems. It's like you have to deal with these type of things on a case-by-case basis and look at what really is happening and try to address that directly.
I agree, because you don't want to discourage. It's very difficult right now in this economy to turn a buck.
Oh, yeah.
It's very difficult for, any whether it be bar owner or restaurant owner or anything else, to draw a crowd, and they did. And listen, this was an instance where it appears as though the establishment that's at fault, was aware that they might have this type of issue. They didn't take action. Well, the thing blew up on them. They were closed. They should pay the penalty, whatever the penalty is, and we move on. We don't, all of a sudden turn Lowell into this place that it really isn't.
Yeah, a pariah.
Right, exactly.
In the media. There's actually a little fighting back media-wise. If you go onto YouTube, there's a video that a bunch of downtown residents got together and put together called Halftime in Lowell, kind of a parody of that Clint Eastwood.
I saw that.
And it just came out, I guess, last night. Was uploaded and has been getting bounced around. But if you visit the Wireless Mic Facebook page. You can see a link to it there, or richardhowe.com. But kind of a funny little video, and kind of demonstrating sort of the resilient spirit of folks in this town who don't want to just let let the baby go with the bathwater, so to speak.
And I agree. And I thought it was a very quality done video, and I'm glad because there are some tremendous places in Lowell to come to, any time of the day. And the downtown Lowell is a very special place. It's historic. They have some great clubs. They have some great restaurants. I don't think it's the best policy to punish everybody. So I'm glad to see that we seem to be coming out of this in an appropriate way. It seems like our local government and committees and whatnot are working together to resolve the problem. They jumped right on it. They reacted to it, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. George, what are you thinking about all this?
I'm not.
Why?
Because when I was growing up as a kid, we may have had our fights, we may have had our differences, but we don't use knives, we don't use guns. And usually if something starts, usually the people in the place themselves would stop it.
Right.
But this is nonsense. What's going on is throwing chairs, tables, maiming people for no reason at all. I mean, these stupid reasons.
Yep.
And you can't really blame, I don't think, the bar owner or the restaurateur. It's
but
just
in this case, though, in this particular case, the bar owner was warned by the DJ as far as the act that he was bringing to his establishment, and supposedly they were advised to bring on security, and they didn't. It blew up.
Well, we don't know that.
That's
because basically there is a duty cop in the downtown, and you just can't. Once a person gets it in his mind that he's going to take a shot at somebody, he's going to take a shot at somebody.
Yep.
And you can't stop him. It's the adrenaline. It's a sign of the times. People have no respect for each other. They don't back off. They look cross-eyed, and you got a problem. That's a shame.
Yep.
And 9 times out of 10, if it has to do with a barroom brawl, there's got to be a woman in the way.
Whoa, George.
Well, it very well could be, but I don't think that what happened in Lowell is necessarily. I mean, it happened in Lowell, so it's a Lowell problem, but I don't think it happens in Lowell any more than it happens anywhere else. No. And again, we have a tendency to over-dramatize these type of things. Some of these establishments have been around for a long time, and it's good stuff. John, what were some of the places that you might have frequented in your day?
Oh,
here
gee,
in
I used to go to the
Donahue's,
absolutely. There was Boston Confectionery, BC, on Merrimack Street.
Right.
The old Royal Theater over on Merrimack Street.
Yeah.
Now, I was too young to go to the Laconia Lounge, but I just heard about that.
Fantastic place. I've been there many times.
And the old Silver Star Cafe. Listen to me. I'm
You're dating yourself.
Dating myself big time.
That's the wrong show. It
old
happens on
bull.
Monday.
I said to John as we were walking here from the parking area, I said, let's go down to Record Lane and pick up a couple of LPs. Well, yeah. I guess you can't do that anymore.
Hey, listen, we've got a caller, Mary Ellen from Lowell. Welcome to the JMac and the Bear Show.
Hello?
Hello. Welcome to the JMac and the Bear Show.
I'm sorry I couldn't get in faster. No. I've been listening to the station for a while since I retired. I usually didn't hear you in the morning. And I was listening when Mr. Golnik was on.
Yes.
And obviously he doesn't listen to the station very often because Nikki Songus calls in and speaks, as you well know, every week. And regarding her trip to Cambodia,
yes.
I just wanted to correct his impression and your impression, obviously. She's paying for the trip herself, according to what she said on your station earlier, about a week and a half ago. So I just wanted to let everyone know that she is paying for the trip herself.